Consistency basically breeds success on YouTube. If you can be consistent in what you do, the algorithm will favor you and you will do well. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby Chow and I like to talk about anything to do with adulting and kind of what I wish I'd known earlier on in adult life. So I decided to start this channel, and today I'm going to be talking about how to start your own YouTube channel in 2020. Right now is the perfect time to start your own YouTube channel because most of you might be home right in this moment of time. Maybe some of you are out of work, or you're just home for now, working from home, and you have a bit of extra time and maybe you want to learn a new skill or you want to try something new. It's the perfect time to start a YouTube channel. But first, before you do that, obviously watch this video and I'm going to give you some tips that I've learned over the years and kind of what I wish someone had told me before I started a YouTube channel. The first thing before you start your channel is to figure out why you want to start a channel, okay? Find your why. Like, why do you want to do this? Because that's the only thing that is going to carry you to the end of this, because there is no end, okay? There's no end of this. So you kind of have to be in this for the right reasons, and if you're just doing it because you want to make money or you want to be famous or you want, I don't know, to impress people, it's probably not going to hold up in the long run at the end of the day, because if you're not doing it for anything substantial, you're just going to run out of steam, you're going to run out of ideas, you're going to run out of passion, you're going to run out of inspiration. It's not a good place to create a channel. It's okay to want those things, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to have an underlying reason as to why you want to start this channel. So the reason I started my channel is because I wanted to help people to kind of get their life together early, so when they're in their 30s or later on in life, they don't have to struggle because they didn't set themselves up right, or because someone didn't tell them something that was so simple that could have changed the course of their life over that decade, I guess. So that's why I decided I wanted to start my channel, because there's so many things I didn't know when I was like in my early 20s that I wish I did know. I kept looking for the information and I didn't find it, and I was like, you know what, Abs, like at the end of the day, if it's not out there, create it yourself. So here I am. The next thing to think about is, who do you want to help or who do you want to entertain? Depending on what kind of content you want to make, who's your target audience basically? I mean, don't think too deeply about this, because at the end of the day, as long as you know why you're doing it, the people will come and your audience will be your audience. But if you have like a certain demographic that you want to hit, like a certain group of people, then you need to cater yourself to those people, obviously. So like, as I said, I want to help younger people. So, you know, people who are in their like early 20s, maybe even early 30s, and out of probably college, out of university. My demographic generally right now, if I look through my analytics, is the 25 to 34. Is that the range? Let me actually just check right now. I'll tell you guys what my demographics are. This is crazy, guys. Like, this is crazy. This will blow your mind because I've never seen it like this. But I'm gonna do lifetime and I'm gonna do, wow, that's so wild. This is hilarious. So I've never really looked, when I looked before, it just automatically shows you 28 days, but I decided to just look at lifetime. So my 28 days, the last 28 days, I've never seen this. So my audience's age is 100%, I've never seen that, 25 to 34 years old. So everyone who's watched my video is within that age range. Don't get me wrong, my channel's relatively new. It's only about 4.5 months old. It's very interesting to see that, actually. But yeah, just think about who you're catering your content to and obviously make it relevant to them. If you're trying to talk to children, don't be on your channel like swearing and, you know, just talking about super adult things. If you're talking to children, make your content relevant to them. The next thing I want to talk about is your topic. What do you want to talk about? So you know why you want to talk about what you want to talk about, but what exactly is it? Is there a certain niche? Is there a certain general kind of form of content you like? Do you like vlogs? Do you like finance? Do you like comedy videos? Do you like storytelling videos? Do you like cinematic visual content? Like, what kind of content do you like consuming, or what kind of content do you want to make? So when I was in university, I wanted to be a filmmaker, so I always liked cinematic style content, but then I realized I don't go out enough to make that kind of content. I generally am home more, and the stuff I talk about is more home based, and maybe it's about life, career, work, money, and things that I do from my desk right now. You know, when I want to do things like that, I think about sitting at my desk and like beating away numbers, going through my budget, doing things like that. So I sit at my desk. This is where I film my videos because it's relevant to my content. If you're an outdoorsy person who wants to go hiking and you want to talk about the best mountains to climb, then you're probably going to film your videos maybe a bit more outside in nature, or you get the idea. So kind of think about the topic and the setting of your video, like what kind of topic do you want to hear. I hear a lot of people talking about niching down. It's one big thing, especially like 2018, 2019. That was the big thing, to niche down. And I think it is important to know what kind of content you want to make. But there are also people out there who are doing like all different kinds of content and just have the same vibe in their videos. You know, it's consistent branding, consistent vibe, but not necessarily about one thing. So those people are popular too, and there's nothing to say you can't do it. However, it is easier to build an audience if you do have a niche, because people come into you for that content. They enjoy watching that content. If all your content is that content, they're more likely to watch more of your content and to watch every video that you make if it kind of hits home for what they subscribed for. You gotta weigh up the positives and the negatives. There's positives and negatives about both. If you do varied content, you probably can sustain it longer, and you probably will be more inspired and feel more free by your channel, rather than trapped into one specific topic, which I find that people in the long run later kind of start to rebel against and don't really enjoy making the same content. It's something to think about. It's not something I thought about in the early days. I've had 4 channels, I think. I'd say three channels that I did long term. So I've had 3 channels in my YouTube lifetime, and I think in the beginning I never really thought about how my content could pigeonhole me, and that's one thing later on, really later on though, that I struggled with. So I guess initially it's not something that you really have to focus on, but do think about it, have it in the back of your mind, thinking, is there anything new I can try? Don't be afraid to try new things. If you want to try something different, go ahead and try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If you love it so much you want to keep it, keep it. Don't feel like you have to fit a certain mold. At the end of the day, you don't know what's great, you don't know what's good, what's innovative, what's new until you try it. And just because other people aren't doing it doesn't mean that it won't work, and it doesn't mean that it won't work for your audience. So don't overthink it. Don't overthink it after I gave you all that to think about. The next thing to think about is, let's say that you've decided what you're going to talk about, you've decided why you're doing this, who you want to target, who you want to speak to. Now it's time to think about what name you're gonna name your channel. I think it's really personal, honestly. I wouldn't overthink this one either. I just have a few things to think about. One of the things is, long term, you have to think about branding. If you're in this for the long haul, you have to think about, in 10 years time, am I gonna look back at this name and be really embarrassed by it? Or am I gonna look back at this name and think it's super dated, or to think it's very young? Because if you're looking to live through your channel and grow with your channel, you have to think about how you're going to look back at it in 10 years time and think, will I want to rebrand? Will I want to change it? So an easy one to go with is your name. I think it's a lot of people use their names nowadays on YouTube rather than like a YouTube name that's really catchy. A lot of people later on, they start with a name that's kind of to do with their content, and then they change it to their name to make it so they can less pigeonhole themselves, either because they've changed their content or because they just want to be more professional. A name is always professional unless you have a really, really unique name, which is cool because that's in itself kind of a selling point. Unless you have such a unique name that you wouldn't look at it and be like, oh, that's a person. There's no reason why you shouldn't use your name. And if you do have a really unique name, that's super cool too. So I would go ahead and use that anyways. You have to consider that your name is your brand. It's your branding. It's who you are and who you're going to be referred to basically for your whole time on the platform. So it's something to really think about. Another thing to think about is custom URLs. This is a tough one. It's a tough one because once you change your custom URL, that's it. It's over. You're stuck with it. So there's people who have had a name of a channel that isn't their name and use their name as their custom URL, which I think is quite smart, because especially if you think later on you might change it, that's something to consider. You don't have to have a custom URL. That's also something that you can do. You could just leave it, however someone could take it. So yeah. Think about your custom URL. You're stuck with it if you have it. On one of my channels, my custom URL is my old name that I changed to a new name that I changed back to an old name. So Right now it's fine, but I'm probably gonna go back to the second name I chose for my channel, and yeah, I'm gonna have a different custom URL to my channel name, but I can still use the basic channel URL, which is youtube.com/channel/random letters. So you can still use that URL and it still goes to the same place. So you don't have to use your custom URL, but it'd be nice if it matched your actual YouTube name. The next thing I want to talk about is your channel art. So now you've picked a name, you started your channel, and you have this ugly, weird art, that original YouTube weird art that is on there that, I mean, it's not that ugly, but it's like, it's just black with grey squiggly lines or whatever. So it's not that interesting. So maybe you want to create some channel art. I'm someone who kind of likes to teach myself everything. So over the years, I've basically taught myself how to do everything without having to use anything else extra on top, because I didn't want to pay for anything. I was so cheap when I started my YouTube channel. I was like, I'm not paying for any help. So I taught myself how to like create art and how to make things that I like the look of rather than have to pay to get that. I taught myself how to use Photoshop. So I use Photoshop, and there's a template that you can download, and it has the dimensions, and you just fill it in within the dimensions. However, there are websites like Canva. Canva I love using now. After having a YouTube channel for quite a while, I'm just like, do you know what? It'd be nice if I could just chill and not have to like spend about 3 hours making some cool art. Maybe I just want to go on Canva and just pick something pre-made and just change the colors. Both is fine. Whatever you choose to do, just make it simple, make it eye-catching, and make sure that it does have your name, your upload schedule, and what your content's about. So those are important things to kind of have there, so when people land on your page, they see what you're about instantly. And if possible, try and make it cohesive with like your thumbnails. So make sure that the fonts might be quite similar, the look is quite similar. It's like a flow, right? You need it to flow. It's like feng shui, it has to flow. So start with the art and it goes down to your thumbnails and your curated playlists. If it flows and looks nice, people will want to be there. They'll want to come back. Just a tip. If you can make it all match, you're gonna do well. It's gonna be great. The next thing is your first video. There are two ways to kind of do this. You can have an introduction video. Introduction videos are good if you have a very specific content that you want to set out in the beginning. Maybe you want to try a bunch of different things, you're not quite sure where you're going, you're not quite sure what you're doing, but you want to introduce yourself, you want to introduce your content, you want to tell people, okay, I might be making this type of videos. If you're more city downy talky, more personal, it could be good to have an intro video on its own, a standalone. However, if you are making very curated content that's say finance or say educational content, you might just want to go straight into the video, like straight into the content. So you could do a video. So my first video, I'll use me as an example, which is way easier than trying to explain this without doing that. My first video is my 2020 goals. And in the beginning of that video, the first few minutes, I kind of explained that I'm making a new channel, this is why I'm making a new channel, and led on to the goals, which was super relevant to the introduction as well, because it's like introducing my channel and I'm talking about finance in my goals, and that kind of leads on from my introduction because that's what I'm going to do with my content. So my goals also matched my content, so it made sense to put that video together instead of making a separate video, because that video is probably going to be the one initially that has the most views, just because you're sending it out to your friends and family, you're sending it out to people who know you or who don't know you, and they're kind of interested to know why you're starting your channel. So if you do start with like a bit of a teaser of what kind of content you're going to be making, that can be good because it can encourage people to subscribe rather than wait for your next video and then decide after that whether they want to watch your kind of content. So a standalone intro or straight to the content with a little intro in the beginning. You choose whatever works best for your content. In your first video, it's really important that you do set the tone for your channel and try and make it as if your channel is a year old. Like, make that video as if you're making the content, like make it the content you want to be making. Don't be really lazy, don't put minimal effort in it. Put as much effort in there as you would want to be seen through your whole video, because at the end of the day, this is probably going to be your channel trailer for a while. So when people come, you want them to stay because they enjoy that video, and you want them to watch more videos because maybe they've gone back to see what you've done after they found you for a different video, and they've come back to this one video, which is the first one. I had someone comment the other day that they had found me through my how to save money to buy a house video, and they'd gone back to my old videos because I only have 12 videos. And I thought that was really cool. So people will go back, so make your content like good from the get-go, otherwise they won't stay. And last but not least, upload schedule. This can be the hardest part of starting a YouTube channel. Consistency and uploading. Consistency basically breeds success on YouTube. If you can be consistent in what you do, YouTube is probably gonna back you. The algorithm will favor you and you will do well. That paired with great content, obviously. It doesn't just happen because you upload every day. At the end of the day, it's people on the other side of the screen who are watching your content. They decide. If they watch it all the way to the end, YouTube's gonna favor you and it's gonna be like, okay, this person makes good content because people are engaged, and so we're gonna show them to more people. It's just the way YouTube works. It's just the way the algorithm works. It's the only way to succeed. What can you commit to? You have to really think about this, because once you start, it's hard to kind of change paths once your audience are used to a certain schedule. So can you commit to once a week? Can you commit to uploading twice a week? Are you only going to be able to upload every other week? It depends on your schedule. Really think about what your lifestyle is like, how much time you want to commit to this, how much you're willing to dedicate to this. Because if you start off with uploading 3 times a week and then you just drop off the face of the earth for like a month, the algorithm's not going to favor you. If anything, it will probably stop suggesting you because you look super inconsistent. You're better off just sticking to once a week in the beginning and seeing how it goes, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to start a channel. It's a lot of work to upload. It's a lot of work to create thumbnails. It's a lot of work to promote your content, especially in the beginning. So be realistic with yourself about what you can do, and be realistic with your audience and be honest with them. Okay, just tell them in the beginning, like, this is what I think I can commit to. I really want to bring this content to you. I do appreciate you being here, but I can only do this much. With me, I can only upload once a week because it's really hard. It's really hard work filming, uploading, editing. I've done it for a long time and I know the toll it takes. So I think it's better to take it slow in the beginning. Or if you're super into it, like if you have so much energy and so much time that you want to dedicate to your channel, maybe you just have this fire and passion for it. Because I remember in the beginning, like I would stay up, like when I had my first channel and when I first started YouTube, I would stay up to like 2, 3 a.m. editing on a daily, like every few days. I'd be okay with that. I would go, if there was an event happening and I wanted to catch it, I would go like in 5 minutes notice, right? I just put my clothes on and I would go with my camera and film something, because that's how much I wanted it. That's how much I loved it. That's how much I had like energy and passion and fire for it. And I didn't have any other commitments, right? Now I have some other commitments. Now there's other things that I think I want to do too. So I try and have balance in my life. This brings me joy and I love helping people, so if I can help people, I am there. That's what drives me. The fact that I'm like, do you know what, this might help someone. If someone asks me a question, I'm like, do you know what, I might make a video on that, because I'm sure there are other people asking similar questions. I have friends who've started channels. I hope that more of my friends will start channels. I'm talking to you guys out there. Yes, you. If you've ever wanted to start a YouTube channel, now's the time, so get on it. You know, there's a few of my friends who have content idea and they give it to me. I'm like, you should start a channel and talk about this yourself. Like, I think that you could probably bring some good stuff, like some really good insight into some of these topics. So I always wanna, there's a lot I wanna cover, but I remember my purpose. I remember why I'm here. I remember what I'm doing this for, and so I try and stay on track. Otherwise, I'll be making vlogs and all sorts of random stuff that's just not relevant, which is why this is the reason I started a new channel, so I could focus. Think about what you can commit to, think about what you can give, and you know, if you're feeling like you're overgiving, just cut back, explain to people, tell them I can only do once a week. Just see what works with your schedule and stay consistent. Oh my God, consistency is key. If you're feeling really crap and you're sick, take time off. If possible, have some backup videos for that time. But consistency is key. I'm still trying to master it after 10 years almost on YouTube. It's a struggle, but you'll get there. So I hope that there was a tip in here that was useful for you. I hope that you are starting your channel, and if you've already started, I hope it's going well. I'm really happy with where things are right now with my channel. I think it's growing quite consistently and I've had a few videos that are doing well. I don't know, I feel like it's the beginning of that curve, so I'm really interested to see kind of where things go over the next couple of months. But I think now I just need to go balls to the walls with YouTube, because yeah, it's been tough. These are crazy times right now, but it's a perfect time to come and help and bring some positivity, some light, some advice, anything to inspire you. So good luck on your journey. But I will see you guys next week with another video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. That'd be great. Yeah, if you guys could subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful and helpful, and share it with someone. I dare you to tag someone that has been talking about starting a channel for yay long and you want them to get on it, because I'm about to send this to a couple of people who've been talking about starting channels, or who have started their channels and haven't really posted content. I want people to be out here in this realm, in this space, bringing advice, bringing content, and just good vibes, you know? Like, we need it right now. So I'd love to hear from some of you. Comment below on if you've started a channel and if you plan to start a channel in the future. Curious to know. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Stay safe. Bye. Good luck on your journey, and I hope it's as exciting as mine has been. Oh, Toa.